continues to interact with Newsline, which is wonderful news. Marvelous that it's continuing. We've been doing that for over well, coming up to 7 years. And I actually received this in the mail today, addressed to me at MTV, and I'm impressed that somebody, a member of the public, obviously a member of the sovereign people of this one country, has actually taken the time to buy an envelope, to print out all this here, okay, and this is all details of various corrupt activities by a particular family from the Hambantota district. Some of them may not be accurate. Doesn't matter. What I'm trying to say is that the people, oh, and sorry, they've also spent 35 rupees on a stamp and might send this here to me, okay? So this suggests to me that the public are very much on the ball. They are completely fed up of the lack of transparency, which in turn leads to and sustains and maintains corruption. The main crisis of the day is the dollar crisis. The Parliament seems to be arguing about all sorts of jolly things like the Constitution, abolishing the presidency or not, and stepping down and whatever. But where is the debate on what to do with the dollar crisis? Let's find out. My guest this evening is been rather frustrated by what's going on and what he sees, and so we decided to give him a chance to explain what he makes of it all. He's none other than the former governor and the leader of the NUA, Mr. Azath Salley. Very good evening to you, Mr. Salley.
Very good evening for us.
Now then, Mr. Salley, what do you have to say about this? Parliament is talking about all sorts of jolly things. You know, step down, don't step down, we are going to sit down as independents, 10 people, 4 people, 40 people. Some fellow writes a letter and gives some names, and then he says, no, no, they're with me. There is no independent confirmation from any of these people. Individually, have they written a letter and put it out to the public and said, I am going to sit independently?
Very true for us. The whole problem, as you mentioned, is the whole country is today frustrated. That is what you can see from Gulf face. Thank God, a non-political movement. The people of Sri Lanka, first time they are showing the entire world how disciplined they can be and how vociferous they can be. We all saw, and I was one of the first to tell the politicians not to go there. I myself have not gone there, but I have been going that way to see what it is. Never gone into that place, because we want all politicians to be out of that. Because today the government is waiting for some excuse to say that the political people are the people who are behind this entire thing. So we are out of it, but we are very happy that the youths have taken over this place, and today that demonstration is going so good, and people are opening up branches around Sri Lanka.
Absolutely.
That is something very, very interesting. But for us, as you say, to my frustration, is one thing that we have met for 8 days. The Parliament has met for 8 days. And what were you discussing? I am not taking. We are not taking. Who is going to take? Who has the numbers? We have now 113. Then you see the Prime Minister getting up his parliamentary group and calling for a meeting where only 88 attends. That itself was a clear indication that the Prime Minister has lost his majority. Then next day we see another member of Parliament who claims to be independent now, who was also part of the government, who comes out and says, now we have got Nalaka Godeheva coming. To see Nalaka Godeheva has become the media spokesman yesterday night and a cabinet minister, right? Then saying that Dallas has already written a letter, 10 MPs have written it. Just because 10 MPs write a letter to their president does not mean that they are part and parcel of your side. You can't take it unless you have it in record and put it to public. Why don't all of you all open up? Exactly.
So, but this, don't you think that that is also a lack of transparency? Because there are still members of Parliament who have not published or handed in their asset declaration.
That is one thing for us.
So what's the point? In any case, what is the point, Azad, of giving it to the Speaker who can lock it up in his cupboard?
See, more than anything for us, now you have a vacancy of a Deputy Speaker. Right. Now third is going to be the next day in Parliament. What are you going to do? You will have to have your election to elect the Deputy Speaker. That you will see who has the majority. It's very clear. You don't need to be going and having press conference and saying that this is a number. And moreover, the youth of this country has shown you a very good path and a democratic path. Why don't the opposition follow this? This is what I've been saying last 1.5 years. I've been saying that the entire opposition is not one today. See, for us, you have several parties sitting in the opposition, right? You have a major, you have 38 members in one opposition, you have 14 in one, you have 3 in one, all that. Why don't they first and foremost get together? Because they are the people who is the alternative to the government. If they are a united force, these things would have not happened. If you had jointly opposed things, this would have never happened. Now the problem is this. Now for us, we have gone up to the IMF, right? Now we have gone up to the IMF. Do you know for us how many loans Sri Lanka has? We have 900 loans. We have 900 loans to be settled. And how much is the total? 32 billion. In that 32 billion for us, are we having a program of how we are going to settle them?
Lisa, you talk about the 900 old loans.
Old loans.
Yeah.
So you go to IMF. One thing is, number one, you have declared bankruptcy. Okay.
Right.
Then you are going to IMF for a further loan.
Yeah.
IMF will ask you definitely,
Yeah.
where is your previous loans?
Yeah.
What happened to the previous loans? How are you going to settle this? Is a question. Now that is why China is saying, if you had come to me before going to IMF, I would have given you the money to settle our loans first.
Yeah.
China wants to give money to settle their own loans.
So as usual, Sri Lanka is always the attention and the envy of all these other countries. The
Exactly.
Americans want us, the Chinese want us, the Indian want us, everybody wants us, excepting our people.
Correct.
So now I want to say this to you. That's a very interesting point you bring about the old loans, the 900 odd old loans, 32 billion United States dollars, billion United States dollars. Shouldn't, in my view anyway, I don't know about you, when you analyze these things, they haven't had a discussion in Parliament about this.
This is precisely what I am trying to explain to you for us. Now, if there is, if the government is even thinking of, number one is increasing the rates.
Yeah.
That is also one thing. The total amount due, how are you going to settle? No discussion, no cabinet discussion, nothing. Even the interest rates all of a sudden has increased by 10%.
Yeah.
Who has taken the decision? Is it central bank? Did it come before the cabinet? Did the cabinet ministers meet? Did they discuss? Did they see what is going to happen next?
And
Today,
after all, it's a national problem. Well,
not only national problem for us, being on the old loan, you have so much, right? How much you have? 9,000 billion. 9,000 billion loan you have, and that if you increase to 10% by way of interest, that is becoming 900 billion. Now with this 900 million, we are suffering and we are totally gone with only printing the rupee.
So let me get this right for the benefit of our listeners. 9,000 billion rupees is the
local loan,
the government
loan. From
if
that,
you increase by 10% the interest
is 900 billion.
It's 900 billion.
Again a B.
Yeah. So 900 billion. Obviously, who will pay this?
Mind you, now even with that, before the increase of 10%,
yeah,
you are unable to survive.
Yeah.
Right? All the local industries is gone. Right? Virtually getting closed for us. People are losing their jobs. People are on the street. Why is golf is getting momentum? Day by day, people are losing their jobs. People are not having the right thing to do. They don't have their materials to import. They can't run their factories. All getting closed.
There was a lady there, and I just chanced on that person, and you know, she said that she was there because you know, she said to me, well, not only to me but to the others there, she said she's there because she's got nothing at home.
Exactly.
No food, no way of earning. 62% of our workforce are daily waged people. We keep repeating this. If there's no opportunity for them, how are they going to take care of their home folk?
And for us, in these 8 days, did any of the parliamentarians discuss where is the dollar? Right? Today, you can't import anything. You can't bring your own medicines. People are dying in hospitals. You don't have the money. We have a Channa Jayasumana who comes every day on television and says there is no shortage. But all hospitals are giving the statements out, saying that there is shortage. These are the things that are not available. The trade unions are saying these things. Why are they hoodwinking the people, the masses?
But they continue to be in denial. When the corona pandemic broke out, they were warned by the leader of the opposition as well. But they took it lightly.
They were hooting him.
They
hooting him in Parliament.
They went into denial. Every time this, I mean, when is this going to stop?
No, for us, this is a government of reverse gear. You tell me what one thing that they did and they did it correctly. Everything that they, all gazettes that they came up with went on a reverse gear.
Now I'm going to ask you
yesterday,
yes.
You saw the Litro Gas chairman resigning.
Yeah.
Then the new chairman gets appointed. He increases the gas price by 5,175. Immediately within 1 hour it is reversed. Right? So almost every gazette they put out, I think this will be in the Guinness book very soon. Guinness book. Gotabaya Rajapaksa's government will be in the Guinness book of reversing gazettes. Right? Then 5,750 was reversed. Again today, it is now again raised to 4,700 something. So you know, you don't have the gas, but the price is there. You don't have the laugh or shell, both are not available. Why is the dollar? If you don't have the dollar, why are you ordering things to the harbour? When it comes to the harbour, you don't have the money to pay, then you are paying damages. Who will pay? This is the biggest problem we are having for us, is who will pay? See, if our debt is so much and we are unable to pay these things, the interest rate is going high, all this will total to what?
Okay,
even to the unborn children of this country.
Before the break, let me ask this
unborn children of this country will have to pay for all these things. Our future generation, we are gone for us. We are gone. The entire country is gone. People are gone. Our generation to be born is gone. That's the most important thing that every mother and father should think of, that this country is totally ruined and this country is now finished. Even the children to be born are finished.
Well, that's a thought actually. You hit the nail right on the head. The unborn future of our country will be born into a deep abyss of debt. Sad. But let me ask you, everybody is saying we don't want the 225 and we want these people out and so on. Who is ready to come in?
See, for us,
that's the question that they want to know.
The people came out and they were asking for the president to go and the Rajapaksas to go. No Rajapaksa family should be in the cabinet was the issue. And by the day, people were watching what is happening in Parliament. By watching at all these people who are debating in Parliament, they came and spoke of the security situation they have, their houses being attacked, they are coming and somebody being bought for money, Muslim MPs are bought for money. These are the things that are being discussed in Parliament and people are so worried. These guys have up to now not addressed our situation. What is the security? The food security for us. Number one priority should be given is the food security. You don't have food, you don't have milk food, you don't have gas. People are suffering. As you say, people are coming to government to eat now. If that is the story. So where is the solution? Tell me one political party that has come out with a solution. Okay, if the president and the government is not doing good, you should be able to address the issue and tell, okay, look, we will come. Now, this is a suggestion that I have been right throughout for the last 1.5 years.
Yeah.
The press conference that I had in 2020 in March 9th, that is what got me arrested for us. In that I am calling for a national government. In that is 1 year and 3 months ago I am calling for a national government. Why? Knowing that situation. And even my press conference on 22nd of March 2019 very clearly says what Gotabaya Rajapaksa will be, and it is proven correct. And after that, see how many lawyers came and addressed a press conference about his citizenship. I was the only person who said that he is contesting as president, not withdrawing the citizenship. Everybody came. Even the today's minister Ali Sabri was on TV with others leading President's Council saying that no, it is surrendered, it is finished, match over. But the president contested the presidential election being a US citizen. I will tell you that very clearly.
My goodness, that's a serious,
very serious.
That's a serious claim to make.
By Nagananda Kodithuappu.
But Mr. Salley, I must put you on notice that you say so under your personal responsibility.
Now it is confirmed for us.
But
only after 2020.
But you must agree that this is you are responsible. But are you saying it with responsibility?
Definitely with responsibility. I am accusing the lawyers who appeared on behalf of him and who came and protected him, saying that he has already abolished, already handed over his citizenship, and that is finished and cancelled, and he is a Sri Lankan citizen. That was totally wrong, because there was evidence after that in 2020, first quarter only, that was accepted. So with responsibility I am saying.
Your personal responsibility.
Yes.
On that note, on this very serious note, let's go quickly and have a look at the headlines and then come back and continue our discussion with Mr. Azath Salley, former governor. See you on the other side.
Newsfirst, Newsline with Azath Salley.
Will gas prices top 5,000 rupees? SJB's protest march from Kandy to Colombo. Where is the no confidence motion? What is the progress of setting up an interim government?
අපි විශ්වාස කරන දේ තමයි අන්තර්වාර ආණ්ඩුවක් හිටවන්න ඕනේ පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේ සියලු දේශපාලන පක්ෂ එකතු වෙලා
අන්තර්වාර පාලන කියලා ආණ්ඩු නැහැ. පිළිරුජාව පවතිනවා දරුවා එළියට එන්නේ නැහැ.
රට ගැන යම් ආදරයක් තියෙනවා නම් බලය පිළිබඳ තීන්දුව ජනතාවට ගන්න අවස්ථාව දෙන්න.
Will the president and prime minister resign?
එතනදී අවසාන තීන්දුව ගත යුත්තේ පාර්ලිමේන්තුව තුල.
Island-wide protests as public anger mounts. Yupan Abekun's latest record.
Newsfirst, Newsline with Azath Salley.
Welcome back to Newsline Live. I'm in conversation with the rather outspoken Azath Salley, former governor and also the leader of the NUA. Mr. Salley, you made some pretty serious allegation there, and you said you agreed that you are responsible, personally responsible for what you just said. But what's your evidence? I mean, you know, to prove your point, you need to give me some evidence. You shouldn't be shouting and screaming.
Nagananda Kodituaka went before court.
But he is not an authority.
He is not authority. But he got it confirmed with the discussion with the election commission.
Right.
He is talking to them. They are saying we did not go into that detail. They have accepted it.
They didn't go into the detail. They didn't ask him whether he's a Sri Lankan citizen.
Exactly.
But should he?
Knowing somebody is coming as a US citizen into this country, it is the responsibility of the election commission to question him and ask him for a certificate that he is not a US citizen anymore. Nobody asked. Not a single opposition political party that was contesting the presidency even questioned this or objected to this at that moment. That is why they got excited and they got the President's councils to sit on that, right? They sat on a press conference.
Mr. Salley, in the interest of balance and equity, you know, in all fairness, you can't really quote now.
Faraz, leave all that aside. No, why are you asking me this? Okay, now this accusation is there for a very long time, since 2019. Why hasn't the government openly come and made a statement? Look, this is the date I have surrendered my citizenship.
That doesn't mean that.
Let me finish.
That doesn't mean
this is the date I have surrendered my citizenship, and here is the US document that I have been released of my citizenship. Finished. Match over. Even tomorrow they can do it. If we are wrong, it's a challenge. It's a challenge now. Let them come out and say that this is the date I put my citizenship and this is the date the US government has released me of my citizenship. But that is the duty of the government.
But the burden of proof will be on you, because you are challenging.
Okay, I am challenging for them to prove it. It is the duty of the government and the president to prove it. And more than that, the president's councils who came, 5 of them who sat on the press conference just to justify that when this accusation was made, they justified that it is already done. If that is done, today also it's not late. Prove to the whole country that you sat for this, you contested this election as a Sri Lankan citizen. Prove to the country. That's all.
You know, you may be right, but you can't sort of say these things without proof, because at the bottom line is President Gotabaya Rajapaksa isn't in this studio to defend himself.
Not necessary to defend himself here.
This
is an accusation.
You are accusing him.
Not only now for us, people have been accusing this before elections and after elections, even up to now.
But perhaps
even up to now, the president or his people or the 5 presidents council who sat on that press conference, including the present Minister of Finance and Justice Minister, was on that press conference. It is their duty to come openly to public and say, look, our president contested the presidential election on this date, and before this date he is no more a US citizen, he is a Sri Lankan citizen. This is a thing that he has to prove before leaving this country.
Thank you very much, Azad. There's several questions here, but now then, everyone's saying the same thing. What's the alternative?
See, for us, that's what I've been saying from the beginning is, the start was the family to go, Gotabaya go, Mahinda go, family go. That was the 3 things. Then later it became the entire port to go. Now, the cry of the people, the public outcry is very clear to everybody, 225 go. Right?
You know, what are we going to do? Go into some sort of anarchy?
Is that going to solve anybody's problem? No. It's not going to solve the problem. You have to have somebody there, sitting there, to take the country forward, because as I told you, the food security is the biggest problem. Right? The government that came to power saying that security is their utmost, that they have to look after the country. For us, don't take me wrong here. For us, now the government that came saying that security is not there, but did not know, the intelligence was so good that they did not know, still these boys went up to the president's house. They did not know, still they went up to Carlton. They did not know, still they went to Vijayarama. They did not know, still they went to most of the members of parliament's house. What is the intelligence they are talking of? They said that that was lacking in the Yapalna, good governance government. That is why they came to power. What happened after that? And what did you do after that? Like Cardinal Malcolm Ranjit going to Vatican today. For what reason? Only because justice was not meted out to them. 258 people died in the Easter. We are talking on the 3rd year of this Easter bombing. Who is responsible? You name a terrorist. You don't bring proof of a terrorist, but you say we have nominated so and so as the killer.
I must read this. Read this message from a member of the public. The efforts of the anti-fascists have succeeded, and the battle has been won. However, the war is yet to be won. So, to the protesters out there, keep up the good work and stay safe. And I'm not telling you who signed that, because that's confidential. But the message out there is a great vote of thanks and a great vote of confidence in the people out there who are protesting on behalf of everybody else. Mr. Azath Salley, tell us what, you spoke about public debt. One of our viewers is reminding us that the private sector debt is 6,000 billion. 6,000 so 10% more is 600 billion. And these are the private sector. They're not going to just pass. They will pass on the cost to the people.
I know you know it. Do you think the former finance minister knew this, or the former central bank governor knew this? If they had known, would have they done this damage to this country?
But we're speculating. We don't know. Maybe they had some different thought.
No, but what was their thought? Did they come out to public? Did they come before the cabinet?
But they said it was MMT, modern monetary theory.
Print.
Yeah, and more print.
So
perhaps they stopped. Perhaps they stopped because there is no paper or the ink.
No. More than that, you stop talking about the rupee printing. No, thank God they were not printing dollars in Biagama. Thank God. If not, they would have done that also. They will be capable of it. See, if they are not knowing the suffering of the masses, what more for us? interest rate is going 10% higher. The salary is the same. Price of goods have increased. Price of petrol have increased. Gas has increased. But the salary remains the same. How will the people of this country eat for us? Did you ever think? Did you at least drop the perks that you all were enjoying?
Can I ask you this question? You know, you're the former governor.
Yeah.
And you were appointed by President Maithripala Sirisena. We are Palane government, good governance. Do you think he shares some blame for what happened at Easter?
See, I have been saying this at every press conference. If not for the misunderstanding of President Maitri and Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe, nobody would have toppled this government for the next 25 years, because they promised and they delivered everything. From all independent commissions, from the Right for Information, the Human Rights Commission.
Along the way they robbed the central bank. Let's put that in as well, shall we?
Yeah. Okay, for us.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to mention it. You can't whitewash them.
Nobody is going to whitewash anything. What is right and wrong is wrong.
Yeah.
That has to be dealt with. That's a different story altogether. But what I am trying to say is, whatever they promised. See, for us, that government bought the gas price by 1,250.
So answer the question. Is, in your view, is Maithripala Sirisena at least partially responsible?
Yeah, because that is one thing we have to agree to, that was the
yes or no?
Yes, that's what I'm saying, partly responsible, because the Security Council was not done properly, the Prime Minister was not sitting in that. Those were issues that were there, and nobody is there to take the blame.
Sounds like excuses to me.
Not excuses, no, those were reasons. Today, if they were both united and acting on behalf of all of us, this would have not happened, no.
But if,
now see,
if Ranil Wickremesinghe had a bit more spine, he would have, irrespective of whether the President wanted him in the National Security Council, he would have said, fly a kite, mate, I'm the Prime Minister, I'm coming in the Security Council. No, okay. Why didn't he do that?
That you have to ask him. But the problem is this, Faraz. Tell me, who did not know about this? Did you see a press conference where Mahinda Rajapaksa, as the leader of the opposition, Vimal Veerawansa, Udayagama, all were sitting? And what was Vimal saying? I did not know about this, but before 14 days, Mahinda Rajapaksa knew this, he said. That's on record. That's on a press conference. He put it on paper. Very clearly, he did not deny it. So everybody knew this. Right, now wait. Now you make Lilantha Jayawardene a state witness. Right? But all of a sudden, when this was coming up last week, you see two President's Council coming before the media, that is by the President's office. They have a media conference and they come and say, I have gone through the records. So all these days they have not gone through the records, and now we say that Lilantha Jayawardene is fully responsible for this. President's office. So for us, what happened to the commission report? What happened to the commission report? Yeah. What happened to the CID findings? All that is put aside. Now the two gentlemen who are sitting on a press conference.
But there's another thing. You've forgotten it as well, but I'm not going to forget about it. 106 pages was not released of that report. That's what we're told. Why hasn't this government? This
is what the Cardinal is also saying. Why haven't you all released the whole thing? And moreover, what Cardinal is saying, not me, what Cardinal is saying, this was a setup by a party that wanted to come to power. Very clearly saying it. Now it is up to the government to clarify this point, not us, not you and me, not your station. It is the President and the government will have to come out and say, number one is about Lilantha Jayawardene that they are talking of, that he is the man who is responsible. Now he is the Moolakaru now. Then Nauvur Maulavi was nominated by us. Sarath Veerasekara says in Parliament that he has been nominated, right? So he is not the leader, but he has nominated him. We have selected him as the leader. So this, you can't go on investigation like this. This is why Shani Abhesekar and the team did a fantastic investigation, and the whole record is there. They did not spare even a PC who did that investigation. Everybody was transferred out.
10 seconds to answer this question. In your opinion, who is the most suited to be the Prime Minister? Quickly, because I'm finishing.
For us, that is up to the political parties to decide, because you and I can talk. We can say so and so is good, so and so is good.
But the
problem is this. the problem is now you have we have 5 political parties that cannot even elect a prime minister now. It has come to that extent. So now they are thinking of a council of leaders. Now the latest is next month. The election of a deputy speaker will come. They will bring a no confidence against the speaker. That will be worked out after that. They will bring a no confidence against the government. After that, they are going to have a council of ministers with all political parties to run a cabinet and no prime minister.
The last bit I have to say is that as the governor at the time, if everybody else knew it, you too would have known about it. On that note, that's the way it was on Newsline Live with Azath Salley. Take care, have a great evening, God bless you. Primetime News.